Follow-up, episode 2, highly anticipated.
Hi, this is Mike and Lele.
Mikey?
Lele and Mikey, I mean. I thought you didn't want to have the
first.
Mikey.
The first shall be the last, and the last shall be first. It doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't.
Okay.
But, if people were trying to look us up based off what I said, then I probably need to be a little more careful.
It's the Lele and Mikey show. You bring it, I wing it.
Exactly. That's the point.
That's
right?
it.
And I think we should point out, too, I try to get as true, to facts and information as I can.
Because we don't want to be those bad information platforms.
No. But we're also just talking about stuff and goofing off. So this isn't like,
this is merely our
educational
opinion and interpretation of reality as we see it.
Yes, very much. And
we'll just leave it at that.
Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to point that out to people. Nobody said anything, so it's not like I'm trying to, deal with an issue that we had. I just thought that we could kind of throw it out there.
I don't even know why we're still talking about it.
Yeah, you're right.
You're making it sound like it's an issue when it's really not.
You're right.
Talk to me, Lele. Is something up?
No.
Do you have a confession?
I'm blushing.
All right.
Well, I just, this is supposed to be fun is my point. So, okay, today we're talking about, I was going to talk about something else. I'm still planning on talking about that later, but sometimes you just got to go with the vibe that's out there. And it seems like right now everybody wants to hear about the Johnny Depp defamation trial. Yes. So
what I want to know is, how do you make someone not famous?
You'll find out.
That is. The guy's freaking Jack Sparrow, for crying out loud.
Not anymore. He lost his role.
He'll always be Jack to me.
Yeah. I know, me too.
I mean, the guy has got a role he's got to play,
Mm-hmm. I agree. So anyway, I feel like we should talk about it.
Okay.
And I figure we can talk about, like, whatever I can talk about, because it's a lot in this episode. And then when it's all over, we'll make one more episode. We'll make ones in between, of course. And at that point, we can, kind of decide how we feel about it all.
Okay.
So I want you to know I am kind of biased. I've always loved Johnny Depp.
I know that you do.
Yes. I have a secret love crush on him.
Did you like him back when he had scissors on his hands?
Yes, I did. But you know how I was when I was younger.
Way back in the day. Yeah, you were...
I was totally gothed out.
You were goth faux shizzle.
I know. I mean, come on. Could you get more goth than Edward Scissorhands?
Is it scissor hands or scissor?
No,
what did
I'm
you
just
say?
saying
I
his
think you messed it
scissored
up.
hands are very goth.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know it's called Edward Scissorhands, but I'm saying, could you get more goth than his scissored hands?
But aren't the scissors on his hands like from an office? They're not actually gothic?
No, my point is like, that's pretty hardcore.
Oh, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty hardcore stuff right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the defamation case brought by actor Johnny Depp against his ex-wife, Amber Heard's ongoing and will likely take weeks to conclude. I have been following the case. So,
weeks?
Yeah.
Are you sure it won't be years?
Well, I don't know.
Some of these courtroom things, it's
right?
like they delay stuff.
Well, she wants to countersue, so that, might make it that way. You're right.
We got people suing the suees.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a normal thing I've noticed that people will do is like they get sued and they're angry. So if they win, then they want to like take more from you. So yeah, for example, he's suing her for about $50 million, which is what he's lost in damages as far as he sees it. And she's countersuing for $100 million.
Double up, man.
I know, right?
Double or nothing. Let's go.
Go hard or go home. That's the way she obviously sees it. So I don't to me, to even grasp $100 million is like, I don't know. Like, I guess Johnny Depp's worth like $300 million.
That much?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But you know what? With all of like the houses he has and like people that he takes care of, he has to make like a crap ton of money every year in order to
Yeah.
maintain his
his
lifestyle.
current assets and lifestyle.
Yeah.
Does he have a big entourage?
You know what? Mostly it seems like he just has friends, and then he does have his, of course, bodyguards. But you would need them if
I
you were
love
that
how
famous.
in the celebrity world, it's
I know.
like, I have friends. Oh, really? What's their salary? Like,
I know, right?
I'll be your friend if you buy me a Ferrari and if you buy me a beach house in Florida.
I know, right?
That's
but
interesting.
like actually, it seems like a lot of the times he just like offers stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, like I'm not sure about the 300 million. I swear that's what I heard. That's why I'm saying that sometimes my information might be a little off. Please feel free to tell me if I'm wrong about something, but it's not on purpose and it's not
We're
like
just
trying to be
schmoes like
negative.
everybody else
Yeah.
Googling, you know? I'm like, I'll be sitting on the couch one day listening to a Maroon 5 song and I'm like, how much is he worth? Google,
Yes.
start Googling.
Exactly.
Like 200 million. Really, probably more than that.
Yeah.
But who knows? Yep.
So
Hearsay.
yes, exactly. So like, and I looked up today because I was curious how much Amber Heard's supposed to be worth. And they were only saying like 8 million. So if he's suing her for 50 million, I could see why that would hurt.
Yeah, that's a big step in the negative.
Yeah.
That's really going backwards.
Yes.
I mean, at that point, you're in the negative. You can't even afford the dollar menu at McDonald's, which is not even $1 anymore, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt. So, okay. Amber Heard's relationship began with Johnny Depp more than a decade ago, actually, and eventually developed into what appears to have been a toxic marriage, obviously. Right?
What would make you believe such things?
Yeah, so like I said, he's suing for 50 million in damages and denies ever being physically violent with Heard. So there's another reason I also wanted to bring up this case. It wasn't just because everyone's talking about it and that I like Johnny Depp. It's the fact that I feel like men get the short end of the stick as far as DV goes. Like women, when they claim DV, it's easier for people to believe, and generally because men are bigger and stronger. That's what and there are men who I think I heard once about a case where this guy like literally would run outside of his house and stand on his sidewalk when his wife was inside screaming and throwing stuff and going insane because he didn't want people to think that he was doing something to her, and she threatened to report him as such.
So he full on removed himself from the situation and put himself in a circumstance where it would be
Where he was
impossible to
seen.
accuse him.
Yeah, and
of
because she would
anything.
hurt him, and so he'd be like bleeding, and he'd run to the curb because he didn't want people. Because she'd tell him that she'd say that he was abusing her, and so I have 2 boys, and lots of brothers and lots of guys in my life I care about. And I don't think it's fair that, DV is not seen as much is not acknowledged as much.
Mm-hmm.
Dual sided.
Yeah.
So
Going both ways.
I one thing I like about this is he's bringing to attention that men do have that kind of thing happen to them. They do have it. And that we need to get more, on the ball about that. Like they have safe houses for women for that stuff. They don't have any safe houses for men.
Sure.
So anyway, I feel like it's an important thing.
Yeah. Well, and the reality is too, you might have 5 abusive relationships out of 100 that go the other way and are more of an exception.
Oh yeah.
But just because that tends to be the case, it doesn't mean that the other people on the other side of the spectrum that are being taken advantage of.
Yes.
Their voices do need to be heard.
Exactly.
We have the same thing in Utah as far as custody battles with kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I totally get that.
Yeah, I mean, like, why is a lot of states have it that automatically the female gets the children when a lot of times, and it's gotten better. It has nationwide. But, I feel like they should really look at who's the better parent. And just because a woman is a woman and birthed the child doesn't mean that she's the best person to raise the child.
Well, even just last night, I had Sis over here at my house, and it was 25-year anniversary for The Fifth Element,
Yeah.
which is one of our favorites as far as sci-fi goes.
We totally watched it.
And we noticed a couple of things where, they're predicting that they're showing the future in the the movie. And at that point, there was a black president of the Federation of Earth
which
or
I didn't
whatever.
pay attention to before. They were ahead of their time.
Right. And of course, now we've had a black president.
Yes, of course.
But
back then, it was made in the
90s.
90s. 25 years ago?
Things are always changing. The hope is things are changing in a better direction.
Yes.
Things are more equal. Things are more fair.
Yes.
And that people aren't just becoming a victim of circumstance through the way things are. Not how they actually are, like how things are perceived. So.
Exactly. And I feel like we would be better if we got to there. So back to topic. They met in 2009 during the filming of The Rum Diary.
You know what? That last decade has gone pretty quick, but a lot has happened in the last 10
right?
years. 10 years is a long time. I mean, I've been married to my wife for 15. And so I get that's a long history.
Yeah. So the film was based on a novel by Hunter S. Thompson, and I haven't seen it yet.
Neither have I.
And okay, so
first time hearing the name Hunter S. Thompson.
So they were both in relationships still at that point.
Okay.
And there were talk of flirtations. I have to, because this is such a broad. Like, there's so much information. I have to kind of graze over stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because we don't want to make this into an 8-episode thing. Because that's what I could do with how much information I've gotten.
Well, with how much I see on Facebook feeds of trial footage and responses to what I can imagine. There's a lot of information out on the topic.
Yeah, and they're on a break this week from trial, but people are still like live streaming for hours about this. Like, it's crazy. So.
Does that mean that people need to get lives? Do we need to get a live for following it?
Well, I usually don't follow them, but I think you have a valid point. If you have an interesting life yourself, you might not be so interested. But I think it's because of the topics it's bringing up.
Sure.
And there are women who are very hurt, who have gone through DV and SA, who feel like she doesn't seem to be telling the truth to a lot of them. And they feel like she's putting them in a position where when they come forward, they'll be less believed because she's the girl who cried wolf, is how they see it. So, that's a thing. So anyways, in 2013, heard like a lot of people are saying the starlet from Aquaman, because they're avoiding her voice or her name, because I think they're worried about getting in trouble. Other people call her Amber Turd because
that's not very nice.
Well, it appears that either her or one of her friends crapped on the bed on Johnny's side after he left one day.
Are you sure it wasn't
an
accident?
And there's a photo.
It wasn't a shard. They weren't just casually laying there and they thought, I'm going to try and pinch one off without anyone noticing. And then Mount Rushmore erupted.
On his side of the bed.
Possible?
On his side of the bed. In his bedroom with her. Not her side of the bed where she might have slept. After they had a big fight.
I suppose when it comes to real estate, it's all about location, right? So, okay, so maybe that is significant. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, no,
from one who's had an accident here or there that I'm not going to talk about.
You don't need to tell me. I don't even want to know.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Move on.
Okay. So anyway, so they started dating. I was just thinking I might refer to her as Amber Turd as a safety.
But that's so mean.
Okay, I'm not going to then.
Were you one of those kids that called kids names in elementary school too?
No, never.
Right.
No, I actually wasn't. I didn't want to ever be a bully, so you're right, we shouldn't.
And you turned into one as an adult, Amber Turd.
It's kind of funny.
It's okay. You can say whatever you want. It's okay.
You're right. I don't want to. But
I'm just trying to hold you to a higher standard.
I just didn't want to say that. That actress from Aquaman every time her name came up. So maybe I'll just say her actual name, and if we get in trouble. So
what's wrong with saying Amber Heard?
I don't know, but people are avoiding it purposely, and so I think it's a thing.
And so it's better to say turd.
I think that's what people decided. But yeah, you're right. It's mean. I'm all blushing.
The actress formerly known as Amber Heard.
Yeah. But I think it's just because people are really mad at her. But you know what? I feel like it takes two to tango. So, and I've heard some really mean words from Johnny Depp in recordings.
Oh, no, in any relationship, is there really ever the perfect person?
Exactly.
That never gets mad?
Exactly.
That's never lost their temper or said something, that they'll regret later in life?
You're right. And, he has acknowledged that he was having problems with drug use and alcohol use during that time period.
I imagine if you're snorting some coke and drinking some liquor, you might do some weird stuff.
Yeah, and opioids, I think.
Opioids?
He was taking a lot of those.
Ooh, pills.
Yeah.
Those are scary.
He was dealing with stuff by leaving reality.
He's like, Vicodin, let's go.
No. No. He was like, she's really mean to me. I'm going to take this pill, and I won't realize anymore how mean she's being. Percocet. At least that's what he said.
Percocet.
But yeah, I'm just saying, it's hard to know. So for me, honestly, you know me. I'm about facts. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, people can't just throw stuff out, and I'll just be like, yeah. And I still haven't heard all of Amber Heard's defense. But I do know that she's been caught in lies, and I'm looking at evidence, because to me, evidence is what counts, right?
Well, then that's what a jury's looking at, right?
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to formulate judgment based on the law, mm-hmm. right? That's why it's in a courtroom.
Yes, exactly. So based off of the evidence I've seen, there has been no evidence whatsoever that he's actually ever physically done anything.
Abused her.
Yeah. And so... or no evidence of DV at all. So as far as that goes. And I honestly feel like that makes it hard for me, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, Amber, I'm sure he did do that to you, when I don't see any proof. Mm-hmm. But there is proof that she has hurt him. Mm-hmm. And I did take just a couple small cuts, because if I try to give you anything big right now, it's a bad idea. Because there's too much crap out there.
Oh, I'm sure there's
30-minute conversations between these people that we don't have time nor need to want to get into it.
Yeah, we're going to take a brief time out for a audio clip for you to listen to for 30 minutes on our hour-long or so episode.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, I wanted to just give you a few examples, okay? So there's actual recorded proof that she says that she's been physically violent. So I'm going to play that.
Keep splitting.
Okay.
I'm not going to be in physical fucking altercation with you.
Then don't.
You fucking hit me last night. You fucking...
What are all the other times you split? Come on, you cannot act like that. It's about that. It's not.
We're on a plane. I can't split.
No, and you hit back. So don't act like you don't fucking participate.
I pushed you.
I'm not going to get into the details of that fight. You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence involved. And that you do it at the very beginning of fights these days. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight. Really, when you split on me, how do you feel when I leave you?
When I split, when I go into the other room, you say.
I love his soothing voice.
I know.
I mean, getting another room at a hotel is just the same thing.
When did I get another room at a hotel?
You text Steven or Nathan in Toronto to get you another room.
That's her security guards.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You still haven't even told me what it is, but run with it.
I have told you what it is.
No, you haven't.
I said to Travis, no, I said
you could read this one.
Hey,
Just put it close to your mic so they can hear.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell them what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the fucking thing, and you hit me in the face, and you said, no, fucking, no, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie, and then I
didn't punch you,
and
by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't
punch
hit you.
Johnny likes the F word.
Slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a closed fist.
You get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here bitching about it, Aaron. You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
She's like,
Wait, listen to the abuse.
Such a baby.
Because
Grow the fuck up.
Because you start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You're admirable. Every single time. What's your excuse? When there's not a physical fight, then what's the excuse there? You're still being admirable, right? Just by running away. And you can sit here and call me names, but you get called a name, and what do? That's the last insult. You're a baby. You're a hypocrite. You don't do anything that you actually do. You expect from people what you can't give them.
Okay. So
there was a lot of stuff in there.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes. So can you see why I was tempted to call her Amber Turd? Just a little bit.
Possibly. So she's talking about swinging at him. She's like, I'm not paying attention to how I'm hitting you. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
She's calling him a baby. She's giving him, have you noticed how much she gave him crap about walking away from the fight?
Yeah. Which a lot of people would call admirable when things are getting bad, that you remove yourself from the situation so that it can't escalate anymore.
Exactly. That way you take a time out. You get back together when you can talk clear-headed.
We have my kids do that in my house.
There we go.
Yeah.
Amber needs to learn.
Someone's going to put him in the corner. Okay, you both need a timeout. You, that way.
Exactly. So,
well, it sounds like he knows when to up and leave, because based on their conversations, it would escalate to her hitting often.
Yeah. In fact, he would actually run from room to room, and there's times he slept on bathroom floors just to stay away from her because she wouldn't leave him alone.
Oh my gosh.
She's one of those people who's like,
my back instantly hurts thinking okay, maybe when I was 11 years old, I could sleep on a bathroom floor and I'll, wake up the next day and be okay. All right, I'm 38. I need a nice mattress. You pop me on a tile floor and I don't know if I'm ever going to leave that bathroom. Mm-hmm. You might not be able to get me up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to have you watch this because it's not something that you need to really hear why I tell you some stuff. Because this shows Johnny. I guess he found out that he'd had a whole bunch of money stolen from him from accountant or something like that. But he was in his kitchen and he was mad and he was banging and like throwing and breaking things. And she went in and she recorded him.
Oh.
Yeah. And the crazy part about this is
she has to show what a maniac he is, right?
She's building her evidence. And I feel like that's messed up too. So anyway.
Isn't that what they call entrapment? Yeah.
So guess what she does in it though? At the end, the very end, when he realizes she's recording him and he leaves, she laughs and she's smiling. You see it on the computer before she closes it when she leaves. Whoa. So, like, my only thing is like, if she's afraid of him when he's mad, and he's so violent, and he's beating the crap out of her regularly. I mean, DV.
DV to the max, man.
DV to the max. My question is, why was she purposely going in there? Why was she laughing when she left? Like, why wasn't she scared? You know what I mean? It just doesn't add up to me. So here, I'm going to let you watch this while I tell you more.
Okay.
And this is just so you can understand. Here, I'm going to close that.
All right. Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to keep telling you.
I'm trying to understand why people call her Amber Turd.
It's about the poo on the bed. And it is mean. You're right. And she is a person.
I
She
do
does have
dig his
feelings.
hat he's wearing,
I
though.
know. He looks great, right? Oh, and you should see the wine glass he pours himself towards the end. There's T-shirts with those on them.
Oh.
It's great. Well, something similar. I think we should make like a legit one, though, with the full, like, looks just like it. It's beautiful.
So this is a 2-minute clip. We're almost 40 seconds in.
Yeah, see?
He's pacing in the kitchen.
Yes.
He had kicked the door.
Okay. So...
Now he's banging the cabinet. Doors open and close.
And this is her only example that she has of him being violent.
He's showing that cabinet who's boss. And she keeps turning the camera towards him while he's doing this thing.
Oh yeah, she feels like she's got her golden prize there.
Well, I've got a golden ticket.
Exactly. He was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory too. Perfect.
So he's breaking some glass. Mm-hmm. And based on how he's talking, it sounds like he might be intoxicated.
Oh yeah, I would
He's
be too.
talking a little more like Jack Sparrow. You know.
Yes, and I would be too.
He's pouring himself some wine.
If you found out it was like $100 million that was stolen from him, from his accountant, that's a lot of money.
He just realized she's recording it.
Uh-huh.
He's like, what are you doing?
Now, the end is the most interesting part to me, when she's leaving. Watch. Did you hear the laugh? See the smile? She's all, hey. Anyway. Here, go ahead and
Isn't that interesting?
I don't know. To me, it's a bit sus. I'm just saying. You know, like, anyway. So, okay, they started dating in 2012. So, you know, because they were both in relationships back in 2009. And then in 2013, Heard alleges that while on vacation with Depp in a trailer in the desert, he did a cavity search on her while looking for his cocaine. Like, he thought she was hiding it. And got violent with her and forcibly did a cavity search, she claims. And she described other instances of alleged abuse.
I'm not even sure how that would work.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm not going to get explicit because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's so messed up.
And I guess the trailer got trashed. Now, people did hear them fighting and yelling. Like, one of his security guards says he did hear them yelling, but they had a tendency to have yelling matches occasionally. And but nobody saw any of that, right? I don't know. I mean, that seems kind of intense to like think someone's hiding their drugs or your drugs.
You would have to be in a pretty crazy state to have the
to think
the thought process.
Someone else would hide.
You're hiding my stash somewhere in your body, and I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was even before they got engaged.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and like that's, you know, that's some crazy stuff. And I mean, I hope it didn't happen to her, but like, I don't know. It just, the thing is in over 5 decades, no woman has ever claimed he's abused them. Winona Ryder's come forward and she's like, I never got abused in any way, shape, or form by him. They were together for years and engaged.
So the reality is that she would be the exception based on his history with women.
Yes. And like Kate Moss said he was a good support. There's a thing with Kate Moss that happened in the court. She brought up Kate Moss being pushed down the stairs. We're all still trying to find out later what that means. Because as far as we know, that never happened. We'll find out.
Well, and what you said earlier.
Yeah.
They're trying to base things on evidence.
Yes.
I could be in a trail with someone and say, things got crazy. We were shouting. The next thing I know, my colon was being investigated for cocaine. You know,
You're right. That's a little bit more weird. It's a little intense, huh?
Okay, so they were shouting a little bit, but how do you go from shouting or getting mad at each other to something that crazy?
She claims he got jealous that some girl had taken some drugs and had kind of like curled up onto her shoulder and like next to her, and that he freaked out and thought that she was cheating. She said he had a jealousy issue that was hardcore. So,
but what I was saying, my point is,
that's how it's supposed to have started.
Now it's he said, she said.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Anyone could say, okay, well, we were arguing and they heard that. And then now they're saying, oh, they did this crazy, unimaginable thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's like next level to me to do that.
How long ago did that supposedly happen?
That happened in 2013.
In 13.
And I'm sorry.
And did it only come out just now that took place? Or because that, to me, that seems like it would be more credible if it was reported and or was made known before that.
She hadn't reported anything that he'd done until after something that I'm going to tell you. That's pretty crazy.
Okay.
Okay. So a lot of people see this as a blackmail because there was an altercation that happened on a Saturday, or not a Saturday. It was at the penthouses. I don't know why I said on a Saturday. Maybe it just made sense in my head.
Because it definitely wasn't a Wednesday.
So there was a thing.
Or a Friday for that matter.
Okay.
It was on the weekend.
And after that, she gave him, they say, this document.
Isn't that a magical noise?
I know, right?
I'm thirsty.
Drink
Fresh
it.
can.
So, anyway, basically, she had her lawyer send him a letter. And it says, please
I love lawyers.
Be advised that our firm has filed a petition of dissolution of marriage on behalf of Amber Depp. As you may be aware, your client and Amber Heard's husband, Johnny Depp, violently attacked and threatened Amber on Saturday night. Oh, I remembered it because it was a fact. What do you know? I'm awesome.
Saturday night, we in the spot.
May 21st.
Don't believe it, just watch.
I know, right? It's in their penthouse apartment located, and it says the address.
I love how they always have to include penthouse.
I know, right?
It's like in Johnny Depp's trashy apartment in the Bronx or on the other side of the railroad. Of course it's the penthouse.
I know, right?
In his modernly normal income
but it wasn't
area
his mansion, Michael.
Apartment.
It wasn't his mansion.
Okay.
So there are several witnesses to this particular incident, and there are photographs, I'll show you later, depicting the property damage Johnny caused as well as the physical injuries he inflicted on Amber. I only have a picture of her physical. I didn't do all of it. It's just too much.
if when he gets so mad that if he hits things and not a woman, I think that's admirable.
Yeah, I actually agree.
I've gotten so mad before.
Not hitting her.
I've gotten so mad before that I've punched a wall, and then afterwards I'm like, "You idiot! That really hurt." And my knuckles are like, "What do you think now, idiot, douchebag?
Yeah, exactly.
Control yourself."
No, I agree with you 100% because I feel like if you're that angry that you got to hit something. I'm glad you're hitting a wall. I'm glad you're hitting a cupboard. I'm glad you're ripping apart a laundry basket. It can be scary, but it's better.
And everyone has their coping mechanisms, right?
True.
Obviously, some more healthy than others.
It's true.
But it's not like the man can't afford to replace the cabinet door. You know, it's like,
I know, right?
Poor cabinet door.
So this is the rest of it. It says, unfortunately, this is not the first incident of domestic violence perpetuated by Johnny against Amber. In fact, there has been 2 other incidents in the past 6 months, although personal matters although Amber is afraid of Johnny. Now, remember that video we watched where she was laughing and purposely going in there to record him.
She looked terrified.
She strongly insists.
She's like, Johnny, what are you doing there? Are you hitting that poor cabinet? You're a madman. Did you drink this whole bottle?
Exactly.
That was very interesting to watch.
So she strongly insists that we do everything possible to keep this personal matter out of the media spotlight. Doesn't that sound like kind of a bridled threat? which is why she has not yet sought a coitus DV true.
It's that damn legalese, you know what I'm saying? The lawyers, they got to be like...
In DV.
It sounds like they're freaking speaking Latin.
Yeah, there we go. I know, right? And we did not arrange for Johnny to have been personally served at last night's movie premiere. So that's like kind of bridled too. Like we could get you while you're in the public spotlight and serve you with DV papers. And then listen to this. This sounds like blackmail to me. I'm just saying. Amber wishes to work quickly towards a private and amicable resolution of all matters, but she will need Johnny's immediate cooperation to do so. To this end, please have Johnny promptly sign and return by Friday, May 27th, 2015, the enclosed notice and acknowledgement of receipt form. Okay, confirming service of summaries. We don't need to read all that. Okay, if it's not signed, it's a problem. Anyway, it says...
Yeah, that's pretty threatening.
Yeah, okay, now wait. Listen to what they ask for.
There's more? What else are they asking for, Lily?
Well, she asked for like 3 of his penthouses and a car.
We talking the Honda Civic?
I want it. No, I'll take it. I'm just kidding. So it says.
Well, it's the SI. Come on, man.
I know, my gosh. She says, in addition, we are requesting on Amber's behalf the following appropriate. Sorry, I can't find the word. Pente light support? I don't know. Okay, exclusive possessions of the black Range Rover. There's the vehicle. The vehicle she's currently using. And then they say...
Well, you know what? If it was me and it was, it had at least 40,000 miles on it, I would say take it.
I know, I would take
anything. If you
anything.
ever want to see a vehicle that has a great rap for... problems later on.
I always walked away with less from every marriage, so she obviously could teach me a few things.
Take the Rover. Engine's about to explode.
So, and then she also says that she also wants Johnny to continue making all payments for all encumbrances therein. So all the parts to take care of the car.
Encumbrances.
Exclusive.
I wish someone would pay for my encumbrances.
I know, right? Exclusive use and possession of 849 South Broadway penthouse number 1, 3, and 5. That's 3 of his penthouses.
Not 1,
3.
Not 2, but 3.
Yes.
Penthouses.
With Johnny to continue to pay the mortgage, utilities, and, associated therein. Also contributing all of the things inside it towards her, plus paying attorney fees and everything else, it looks like around $25 million worth of money. Anyway, Oof. Yeah, and they say...
this was back in 15?
This was back in, is that what I said it was? I think so, yeah.
I didn't realize that this has been going on for as long as it has.
It took him a long time to finally stand up and say, I'm tired of... she ruined my whole life, and I want everyone to know, I don't think he even cares if he wins.
She's as cold as ice.
But anyway, basically, the rest of it just says that
she's as warm as a turd.
He has to respond very quickly, or something is going to happen. And it turns out...
Them's fighting words right there. Them's fighting words.
And then, after that, she released... which is what he's suing her for is it's an abed. I think that's what they call it like that. There's me being dumb again.
Abed?
Yeah. No, it's a something bed. It's something she released in a paper basically saying that she was a victim of domestic violence.
Okay.
And anyway, after that was released in 2018, Here, see, I could check the word right here because, it's an op-ed.
Oped?
An op-ed, yeah. I was close.
Okay.
It was an op-ed that she wrote to the Washington Post. And she wrote that, and she became a actual figure for domestic violence and the Me Too. And she sat there for years.
The Me Too movement that
Yeah,
started to
and
come on
talking
strong.
about how she'd been so abused. And she posted pictures and said that whole thing that happened on Saturday, she said that these were pictures of her injuries and that she had 2 black eyes and a broken nose.
Well, I mean, she has like some redness around her. Okay.
But look, this is something I want to point out. Okay, so we all know what happened to Rihanna,
She does look a little
right?
bit beat up. Yeah.
Okay, Rihanna got hit 3 times while Chris Brown was driving a car.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what Rihanna looked like the day after. She canceled all her stuff. Guess what? The day after that was supposed to have happened, that was her.
Amber Heard in this picture literally looks like she's on the front of a freaking Cover Girl magazine.
Yeah. So she went on a talk show. She was laughing and everything. She said that he split her lip and everything. Now look at Rihanna.
Yeah.
Look at Amber Heard. She canceled everything. Rihanna canceled everything that she had on her schedule for weeks.
Yeah.
You know, people don't want to show that. They're embarrassed.
Yeah, Rihanna, she literally looks like she was just in the octagon with, George St. Pierre or some.
I know, right?
And got like
she looks like
Superman punched a few times.
She looks like she'll never be pretty again.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here is a picture I didn't show you where Johnny's finger got removed. So
really?
She threw a vodka bottle at him and broke the bones in his finger and took it off.
That is messed up, man.
But in court, she claims he cut his own finger off. He was upset.
Man, I'm so angry. Give me some scissors. Ah!
You like playing the guitar? But you like playing the guitar.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Wow.
And then here is marks. Just one example of marks he had during the time he was with him or with her that his bodyguards took pictures of. Because
he's got a black eye and a lump underneath his eye there.
Yeah, and look, there's his finger. That's the best they could do to fix it. It was off for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's obvious that the night that happened, he was on some serious drugs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
like we said, it's not like
and he's admitted that.
Yeah.
He has. He's like, I was using drugs heavily.
Yeah.
But his bodyguards who are around him say he's not violent. And people talk about how he handles his alcohol very well, generally, and that most people haven't seen him really drunk very often, and that actually Jack Sparrow behaves more drunkenly than Johnny Depp does when he's drunk, they say. The people who know him.
No, he just wants a bottle of rum, you know?
Yes.
Just one bottle of rum.
So
so far from what I've seen, it does look okay. Obviously, they don't have the perfect relationship. I'm sure he's made some mistakes, it appears to me that she's a little cray-cray.
Yeah, well, he was calling her CANT a lot, like in some of the stuff.
You spelled it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I spelled it wrong.
But you spelled it wrong.
I know, I did it on purpose.
She's a can't.
Yes.
She cannot.
Yes. Do you see my filter?
I'm glad. It's
I don't
good.
have a beeper, so I thought I'll just spell it so that you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm smart.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to call a woman.
No.
That's terrible.
You know, so I mean, I'm like, there is that, you know?
You wonder with these celebrities, though, because you see, I mean, they have all the money and all the fame, and they're, and over and over and over again, there's an intense drug and alcohol abuse, and it's like they struggle to function. They struggle to cope with, you know, all the things that they have to. It's actually kind of sad.
I agree.
There's a lot of casualties to fame out there. I mean, and you look at some of the some people that brought people insane amounts of joy, like Robin Williams.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, anyway.
And didn't he kill himself?
It's
sad.
another topic, but
yeah,
obviously in the world of Hollywood, there's
yeah. See, and I don't know a lot of their stuff. I don't usually keep track, but every once in a while, something like this catches my eye. So I just want to, like, I'm proud of finding this. So I'm just going to show you a little part of it, just really fast.
Okay.
Because I'm so proud I found it. So they actually have a recording of a doctor and nurse showing up when Johnny's finger got removed. And there's also a bodyguard there, and Amber, you can hear stomping around and freaking out in the background, and Johnny kind of freaking out. But in it, it's the doctor says she did this to him. She broke his bone. She's like yelling, "I'm sorry" in it. I'm not going to show you all of it, but I'm just going to show you a tiny bit of it.
Okay.
And like they can't use this in court because there's multiple voices on the recording.
So they can't for sure say who's saying
and
what.
I honestly didn't expect her to say that he didn't even remove her like that she didn't remove his finger. She said that he did it to himself. So she also said that he did something to her with a bottle, an alcohol bottle that was a square on the bottom. I'm sorry, she would have to see a doctor for that. She didn't see a doctor.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's essay.
Yeah, okay. I understand.
There was some essay that she said that he did to her.
Jeez.
And that she was bleeding.
Talk about a bang-up relationship. Oh, yeah.
She said
this
that
is fantastic.
there were glass all over in her feet because he'd been breaking bottles and in her arms. She also said that, she was bleeding from, areas.
Uh-huh.
And had lost control of her bladder and everything. But she somehow didn't go see a doctor for that. I'm just saying.
Maybe she has.
I don't know anybody who couldn't.
Maybe she has Wolverine's power of super healing, you know?
Oh, and when she talked about it, she didn't
Johnny
cry.
Depp is super awful and abused her so badly, but she just can heal so fast that it's hard to take her seriously.
You know what she said? She said that her heart was so broken, she just didn't notice the other stuff. Because her heart was just so broken.
Yeah. It would exclude me from seeking proper medical help.
She's all saying, she's like, I just kept thinking, please don't let it be broken. And she was very emotional, but I saw a little bit of moisture just like barely under her eye once. But through the whole episode, she's doing this thing, and it looks like she should be crying. Her eyes didn't get red at all. There were no tears.
Is she not an actress?
Yeah, well, obviously not a good one, because that was... I'm sorry, that wasn't
You trying to say it wasn't an Oscar-worthy performance, Lele?
I'm just saying. I've seen better. I know a lot of actresses who can at least like ball tears when they're, doing a role. I'm just saying.
Like Winona Ryder?
Yeah. And even his ex-wife, who he has his 2 children with, Parody, says she has never been abused by him. And they were together for over, decades. They were together since the late 90s.
Oh, wow.
Like, how could that be that, it just seems, it just doesn't make sense.
This shows the lack of my knowledge on the topic.
Yes.
Are Heard and him actually married or were?
They were. They're divorced now.
Okay.
But
all right.
What he's suing her for is after she released that OPED.
OPED.
Yes. He was dropped from Pirates of the Caribbean. Warner Brothers dropped him from Amazing Beasts or Amazing Creatures. Is it Amazing Beasts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. Yes.
Amazing Beasts and Where to Find Them.
The Harry Potter series.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he has a role for one of the bad guys.
He does. He's one of the main. He's like the main bad guy. So he got dropped for that role, and Warner Brothers kept her for Aquaman and put her in Aquaman 2. And there's actually like people who there's over 2 million signatures on a petition saying they won't watch the movie if she's in it. They haven't released it yet, but they've recorded it because they're saying that this is double standard. And it sounds like they're obviously she abused him too, and he's got
evidence of it.
Yeah. So like, why does she keep her role and he doesn't?
Yeah,
that's messed up. You get what I mean?
Because based on what we're seeing here, if it's being
well, the fact that she even said I hit you.
Yeah.
She's admitted.
And she's like calling him out for removing himself from the situation when things get like that.
Yes, which doesn't make sense to abuse, right?
Yeah.
And she was laughing and bringing a camera into the room when he was in a fit. I'm sorry, if somebody was doing to me those kinds of things,
especially
some of those things, I would be leaving the freaking house and flying to another place.
He didn't have a punching bag, obviously. So he had to take it out on the cabinet door.
Yeah, I was mad.
A little slammage.
Yeah.
Might have broke a little bit of glass.
Definitely. So, okay.
Nothing a little carpenter action can repair.
I want to show you this really quick because, like I said, I found it, and it's just for just a second. But you can read it because it's hard to, you can actually even say it out loud if you feel like helping because it's hard for people to.
I guess you're leaving Monday, he says.
That's Johnny.
Yeah. I wish you understood what you are and who you are. How you messed me over. It makes me feel sick.
Listen how sad. Of himself.
Oh.
Does that sound like an abuser?
Sounds like someone.
Do you hear her stomping around in the background?
She is. Clompity clompity. That she'd kick someone. There's still time.
It'll give you subtitles.
Yeah.
The important part is what comes up next with what the doctor says.
Doctor says he's going to need a skin graft. Otherwise, he's going to need skin graft probably. Yeah. Yeah, he said, so she did this. Look. They can't find the fingertip.
All right, that's enough of it. So, you heard the doctor say she did this.
Right.
Later, he says she shattered the bone. And like further in, she tell her, say, I'm sorry. Don't leave me here. And she wants to stay with him. Like, through, this whole thing. And I like, they're all saying, you need to go have a timeout. He needs to go have a timeout. You need to stay away from each other because there's obviously a problem. You guys aren't healthy together. Yeah. But I just don't want to use up a bunch of time on that.
I think a missing finger is definitely in the category of not healthy.
I agree. So, okay. So basically, now she's saying he took off his own finger. She said the whole, I feel like if she had just said, because at first she said he threw a phone at her in that picture. The one I showed you. Uh-huh. And then later it's like he ripped out my hair and she shows a clump of hair on the ground. So basically it just seems like I can't really see any valid evidence besides the fact that he would yell at her back sometimes. But I can see evidence that she's done things.
Right. And she appears to be very manipulative and is constantly trying to turn a situation into something that it's not when she obviously seems like the huge perpetrator.
Yeah. And there's even a recording of them conversing and he's trying to get her to figure it out and not go to trial for this. Mm-hmm. And, the reason that he's suing her for $50 million is that's how much he figured he's lost in the contracts he lost with Warner Brothers, with Pirates, with other roles that he was lined up to have where they dropped him, and it's killed his career. And it's really actually sad because he said,
well, he built Jack Sparrow from the ground up.
Oh yeah. And she killed him.
Yeah. She killed it.
And he was so upset what Disney did. He said he would never work with Disney again. And he said something about how he would need a huge amount of money and 100,000 llamas or ewus or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was great. I'm sorry I didn't get that on my notes, but it was amazing. But anyway, he said that she took everything from him. Absolutely everything. I mean, as soon as you throw out the word of, DV to someone, he actually sued a paper and he lost. It's The Sun, and they're in the UK, and they posted a paper with the heading that Johnny was a wife beater. Ugh. And so he went over there and he sued him, and the judge decided that he found it was, founded and whatever, and he lost. Mm. But for him, it's he just wants the truth out there. He said he doesn't really care if he gets the money as much. It's just about, he said, if anybody wrongs you, if anybody has spoken wrongly of you and everything towards you, stand up, say something.
Yeah.
Don't let them, because like he waited for a long time, and that's one thing they brought up in court. Like, why did you wait so long to do this? And actually that paperwork and stuff started for it, but way back in I think 2019. It was 2019, but because of COVID and different things, he kept pushing it out, and she was angry about that.
Yeah.
And then later she decided to countersue for $100 million.
Yeah.
But anyway, he got on this phone call with her, and he literally asks her, he says, let's just handle this between us. Let's, the media has made things toxic. Let's just tell them that we love each other and that we wish the best for each other, and we just want to work it out and everything. And in it, she actually says that nobody will believe him if he comes forward and says that she was doing DV to him.
Uh-huh.
And she also says that she has like all this proof and stuff. That she has all this proof and stuff that, he's done bad things to her.
Yeah.
And that she's actually looking out for his interest. And I don't know, but then at the same time, when he was like, let's just drop this and settle it,
Yeah.
she wouldn't have it.
Well, she obviously wants to come out of it with everything and have him have nothing, right?
Yeah.
So it's apparent that
Well, and she was in the spotlight. She was the face of abuse. They actually made her like the spokeswoman face of abuse.
right.
And L'Oreal, she was a L'Oreal's lady. And
Like the makeup company, like L'Oreal Paris?
And L'Oreal, I don't even want to know what they think right now, because she said that the reason nobody saw those bruises, remember that picture I showed you of her
Yeah.
at the talk show, was because she was using makeup to cover it.
It's because the makeup
Yeah,
is
because
so
she's
good.
pro. Yeah. But the makeup case they showed as an example in court wasn't even out yet at that time.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I feel like is what happened was she thought that she could get away
Annie,
and
if
take
you're
a lot.
listening, I feel like I just say that I'm the luckiest man in the world. My
That's his
my
wife.
wife is amazing. I hear about some of these relationships and some of the crazy things going on. It's like, wow, people can get that spiteful and uncaring
Yeah, I
and
know,
just
right?
downright mean.
Yeah, I agree.
That they can lose almost their humanity
Yes.
and anger to the
Yes.
point where it's like they don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
All that matters is that they come out ahead.
Yeah.
That they get made the righteous person that was not wrong, and the other
Yeah.
person was where all the evil came from.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, she says, you need to come forward. You need to say that it was an equal thing between us, that we were both equally that way, and that it was a fair fight. She's like, you need to say that you were the victim of domestic violence. And he said, I was.
Yeah.
And they played that in court in his defense
Uh-huh.
because she actually said that to him. But she was trying to say that she wanted him to step forward and say that, he was equally violent with her.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't, because he's like,
It's not,
not
who
true.
It's not who he is.
Yeah, he's saying it's not true. So, interesting little twist, because we should end soon.
Yes.
Elon Musk is part of this story.
Of course. Master Elon.
Yes. So people think he might have had an affair with her while they were still together. He says that he didn't do anything with her until after they were broken up. The reason I bring up Elon Musk is because when they got divorced, she said she didn't care about the money. She got $7 million from the divorce. And she said she didn't.
That's all.
Yeah. She said she didn't care about the
Which,
money.
according to her online profile of net worth, doubled it almost,
Well, think about this.
8 million
No,
to-
because that's what she's worth now.
Oh,
But wait.
so maybe she was only worth 1 million and now she's worth
But
8.
wait, this is even better. Listen to this. So she said she didn't care about the money. Now, remember that thing she wrote where she wanted 3 penthouses, have them pay for them, and all that other stuff?
And the Rover.
And yes.
Don't forget the black.
Don't forget
the black
Rover.
Rover.
So, anyways, basically, she said she didn't want the money and that she was giving it to charity.
Oh, that's so nice.
She named 2 charities she was giving it to. Later, she said, you can see her in interviews saying she gave money to charity and that she didn't want the money. Well, guess what?
Did she never actually give the money to charity?
Johnny gave like $100,000 to the charity, and then she got mad at him because he shouldn't get the tax write-off. So he should give it to her to give to them.
Oh.
And then Elon Musk put in like another 300 something, whatever. It's barely over $1 million that she's donated so far.
Yeah.
And one of the places hasn't gotten anything, and they're all like, one of them showed up in court and
They're
was
like, they're like Stewie. They're like, hey, you man, where's my money?
yeah.
It's been 24 hours. Where's my money? You said you were going to give us some money, lady. Where's our money?
Exactly. And you want to know what's funny too? She had that money for a year before this all happened. Yeah. Anyway, there's other people that she allegedly had affairs with and did things with. They have actual pictures in the hotel elevator of them going up and her being like kind of cuddly with those people. But they don't have dates on them.
And this is while they were married, though?
Well, they don't have dates on them. But people who work at the penthouse say that it was before there was a divorce. Okay. And like Elon Musk went there late at night one night and didn't leave until the next morning.
Go Elon!
And she ended up having a baby, and she hasn't said who the father is. And there's people who like think that maybe
there are spectators.
Yeah, that think it's maybe Elon Musk's child.
Whatever.
You know how that is. But
there's
anyway,
always so much hearsay in Hollywood.
Anyway, I think it's all
with
sad.
all the people following people around to get pictures. My brain is so dead.
It's okay.
It's
one of those days.
Paparazzi. Why could I not think of that word?
Got ya. And anyway, okay, there's also people who are supposed to come forward and testify for her in court, but after they've heard like the recordings of her berating him,
are they bailing out?
Hit him, yeah,
they're like,
one of them felt like,
forget you, totally lady, you straight cray cray. I'm not gonna testify for you.
Yeah. Oh, and James Franco was another person. We all know he's a supposed sex addict. He said so.
He's a ladies' man.
He said that, himself. He's in trouble for his school. I found out about that only because of this. I had no idea. Like I said, I don't keep up with Hollywood.
Neither do I.
Anyway, whatever the case is, there's him in the elevator with him too. And then she supposedly had a threesome with Elon Musk and this other hot model. It was a good night for Elon if it happened. Because, I'm just saying, Amber Heard, she was hot. Like, she doesn't look hot nowadays. Like, you can tell she's stressed out in court. Like, she's got like, she's got like resting beep face going on. Yeah. Like hardcore.
No, she is undoubtedly a very beautiful woman. Well, let's hope that some justice prevails, right?
That's what I hope too.
That if the reality is that her claims are unfounded and she's super crazy, and although Mr. Jack Sparrow likes the F word and
like a lot
likes to break cabinets when he's ticked off, that he's only the truth will come out, right?
Yeah, I agree.
That if the whole trial is about vindication.
Yes.
It's about saying, look, I put up with this for so long. I tried to make it go away, and she just won't back off, and she's going straight for the throat. So I have to turn around and make an attempt to try and redeem my character. Because
that's what it's about at this point.
In Hollywood, it's like when your character's gone.
She ended his career, Yeah. Yeah, basically. And so he just, he wants people to know the truth. Like, how crappy it feels when people accuse you of something, and whether he's done wrongdoing or not in their relationship, she definitely has. And, she was just coming out roses and looking like this poor domestic violence, escaping wife, person. And he was like the trash
Yeah, he's the crazy, abusive, raving lunatic.
Yeah.
Well,
so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
We'll do another one after the case is over and just kind of talk about what else happened. But by the way, one of the people who was supposed to testify as to her bruising was James Franco, and he has dropped out as a witness.
Oh. Yeah. Mr. Franco has decided to depart.
Yeah. And there's other friends as well. And they say that they say that, she's just got this hot temper and she can just get darn mean. And there's also part of a reality series that her younger sister posted that basically they're teasing her in it about how her sister had beat her up and she had like bruise marks on her chest. But she said that it wasn't really that. She went and was like, oh yeah, it wasn't really that. Also, Amber Heard was in a relationship with a woman because she's bisexual.
Okay.
And before Johnny. And,
no judgment.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, she actually got arrested for DV in the airport and had to stay overnight in a cell.
What?
Yeah, and her partner at the time dropped the charges. They said that it was just a prejudiced police officer who wouldn't realize that they were, an actual couple and not just friends, was, upset about their relationship and got him in trouble. And the lady came forward later and she's actually a lesbian activist.
Wow.
So...
Isn't that interesting?
It's just there's so many things, and it's like, can you see why it's like kind of tempting to call her Amber Turd? I mean, I just feel like you should hear what her testimony in court. She paints him out to be a monster. And she said that picture that before supposedly was a phone, and now in court she was saying that he pounded on her face and ripped her hair out. She said he was pounding on her face and head over and over again.
Yeah, she would have been hospitalized if that was the case.
Yeah, well, not only that, there were people who saw her, like, that day even. Police officers showed up and over and over again on the witness stand while they're trying to, like, say the question a million times to catch him is like, it didn't look like she had anything wrong with her face.
Yeah.
Did she have redness on her face? Yeah, maybe a little from crying, but it was regular for crying. Was one side redder? No. It just looked like she'd been crying. They were the same. And there was no signs of damage in the penthouse to support that there was this big, huge fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just sounds to me like a lot of stinky stuff. And that's why people like to say Amber Turd.
It is downright stinky.
Something smells.
Something really stinks.
Yeah.
And it just might be Amber a turd. So.
Oh, you said it, not me. No, but do you get what I mean? Like,
I do get what you mean.
I mean, it's just kind of a crappy situation. But it's a bad situation.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But let's just, like I said, let's hope that truth gets made known and that the true villains are called forth and shown for who they really are.
Well, and it sounds like she has, like, possibly borderline personality disorder. Like, one of the psychologists, like, diagnosed her with that, and he always thought she kind of had that too. And, people, like, it sounds like she might just really need some help, you know, but the right kind of help. And, I mean, I'm just hoping that if it comes down to it, that really there wasn't a lot that had happened and she does have those problems, that maybe she'll finally be forced to, like, get some help.
Yeah. To figure her stuff out.
Yeah, and there's other women that she's been in relationships before Johnny even that claim to have been abused by her as well. So she has a history of domestic DV, and Johnny Depp has none. 5 decades. All of a sudden he's snapped, and he's done cavity searches. He's done bottle violations. He's done pummeling, beating, ripping hair out. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, it just doesn't add up to me.
Yeah.
And he's such a soft-spoken fellow. And, I mean, the part that really got me in that recording was when he's like, you make me hate myself. And it was just like, that does not sound like an abuser to me.
Yeah, it sounds like someone that's being abused.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Yes. So what's the lesson today?
stay away from freaky, crazy women.
I think that's valid.
And you women out there, stay away from freaky, crazy guys.
Yeah, let's like just stay away from crazy people.
Sometimes
if you see red
we just
flags,
have to agree to disagree and go our separate ways and not get all cray-cray on each other.
If you see red flags, if you're getting a cavity search before you get married, you probably shouldn't get married. I'm just saying. I don't know that happened, but I would just, throw that out there.
That might be a sign to say
Might
no.
be a sign.
If there is any reason why these two should not be joined, I got something. It's actually kind of crazy.
Where's my drugs? Where's my drugs?
Well, thank you for listening, and until next time, smile and be happy.
Yeah, and I know this was more of a serious topic, and we hope we didn't offend anybody. That's not our purpose.
I feel like I need to have a pep talk to myself.
I know.
I'm kind of depressed
You know
now.
what? I'm really glad I'm single right now.
I'm glad I have a loving, non-crazy wife.
High five.
High five.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.